So you were awarded the Medal of Valor, and I don't think I've ever even heard the story of how that came about. So I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of funny, actually. And I don't know that we were deserving of the award because it was just a weird case of happenstance. But we were down in Santa Ana, and I was working a task force. We're all in plain clothes. I think there's 4 of us, and we're doing surveillance on a dope house. And we had information there was going to be some transaction at the house. Either they were going to be picking stuff up or dropping off. I can't actually remember. But it was in a cul-de-sac. And I was the point guy at that particular time of the night. And hours were going by, nothing was happening. There was no activity at the house. We start to realize we probably have bad information or things have changed. And so now we're just kind of waiting it out. And I look down the street and I see a car that has its lights off, and it's just kind of slowly creeping along. And I'm kind of half paying attention to it and half not. But it is coming in my direction. So, I don't know, maybe is it finally the car we've been waiting to see? And next thing I know, gunfire erupts. And so they start shooting out of that vehicle into a residence. And I'm kind of taken, surprised by it. And I get on the radio, I report to the other guys that are in the area, hey, drive-by shooting just occurred, vehicles just passed me, I'm gonna follow it. And of course, they're all racing to try to catch up. And at some point, probably within 2 blocks, the vehicle that had just committed the drive-by shooting sees that they're being followed by me. And so a guy gets out of the back of the car and starts shooting back in the direction of my car. So I put that out over the radio, like, hey guys, I'm being fired upon. Here's the vehicle description. Looks like there's multiple suspects in the car. And I'm waiting for them to catch up, trying to keep a safe distance, but also not allowing them to get so far away from me that I can't, that I'm gonna lose them. And that's kind of what happens. We ended up getting at an intersection where they just bolted straight through an intersection where there was cross traffic. And I slowed down enough to where I could, try to safely get across the street. And now we're trying to play catch up. Fortunately, one of the other guys was in a position to pick it up where I left off, and now he's chasing him. And so it's getting, a little bit more and more intense. And then finally they crash the car and they get out and flee. And we had put it out over the radio, and the local agency, Santa Ana PD, was really, really responsive. They had people coming to our assistance really quick. I think they had a helicopter up, and next thing we know, they've got like 3 guys in custody. And so people were either hiding in yards, and residents were calling, and then they would go and find them. That was it. It was just this thing where, an unexpected shooting takes place. We finally, successfully round the guys up. And so one of the embarrassing things about that story is that when I was sitting there eating chips and drinking a soda, and the shooting takes place, and I start to try to chase after the guys that had just done the drive-by, I'm getting in the car into gear and trying to get on the radio, and all this is happening. I squeezed my legs together, and my soda can was between my legs. So of course, it spills. And then later on, when I'm out of the car trying to explain what had happened, and I'm talking to people, I'm unbeknownst to me,
You look like you
I've got
pissed
this
yourself.
big wet spot, yeah. And then when the captain finally got down there, he was like, Greg, what happened? I go, man, trust me, it's more innocent than it appears. But 2 of the guys that were on with the team were federal agents. Jim Black, who and then a guy named Ray Fregosa. I think that their department was looking for an opportunity to give one of their guys the Medal of Valor. And so they incorporated, for us, so we got the Federal Medal of Valor, not the LAPD Medal of Valor. But it was just this, just us doing what you'd expect us to do.
Right.
And, it was nothing very heroic about it.
You got shot at, though.
Yeah, I got shot at. It didn't hit my car, though. So
Yeah. I mean, how many times in your career have you been shot at?
That was the second time. I'd been in a car where I'd gotten shot out, but never knew who did it. Like we were just in a park. We were driving it was a black and white. We were on patrol, and I just hear this. I hear the report of a gunshot, and then I hear the metal of the car getting hit. And it was a bullet had gone through the frame underneath the driver's door. I'm sorry, the passenger's door. I was sitting on the passenger side, and the car had been hit. We didn't know where, and we didn't know where it came from. But, you know, when we got out and checked, we was like, shit, there's a freaking bullet hole in the car. So.
And you never knew where someone just took a shot at you guys for some reason.
Yeah, just because we're going through the park at night, and somebody, you know, from behind a fence or something like that just took a shot.
Crazy.
Yeah.